Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, May 17th through Sunday, May 23rd. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check out my Ask Me a Question section in the description below there. There's also a link to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done. And check out my monthly forecast. So there are only a few major aspects this week, okay? On Monday, we have the Sun in Taurus trine Pluto in Capricorn. On Thursday, let's see here, Venus in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. On Friday, the Sun in Gemini squares Jupiter in Pisces. And on Sunday, Mercury in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. And the Sun moves into Gemini on the 20th. So, for Aries, okay, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your second house trines Pluto, transiting in Capricorn in your 10th house. So, having the Sun in your second house of income, how you earn your money, means that, you know, a lot of planets have just been here, Venus, Mercury, whatever. Having the Sun here still means your focus is on bringing in more money, bringing in income, increasing your pay rate, or anything that you even own, like your possessions, something like that. This very nice trine to your 10th house of your career, where you have Pluto still transiting, just means that you have been given the ability to do just that, increase your income in some way or other through your livelihood, whatever it is that you do for a living, or just simply based on your reputation, your professional and even personal reputation, that you are able to gain more attention to yourself or whatever it is that you do. Even if you're retired or you don't work at all, you're still in the limelight in some way or other that is increasing your valuables, whatever it is that you own that you value, but your possessions. So there's some way or other that you're able to grab the attention of someone who could possibly do this. Either it's a higher up or a new client, or just all around someone who's in a position to help you in some way or other. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 3rd house trines Saturn, transiting in Aquarius in your 11th house. Very nice trine from Venus to your 11th house of friends and your most sociable house, where you would normally go to hang out. Friends and associates, acquaintances, any kind of organization that you belong to, but it's more or less your gang. Having Saturn here kind of means that you're looking for, let's say, more responsible friends, or possibly even wanting to join an organization that reflects your beliefs, or a very serious side of you. Let's put it that way. Venus in your 3rd house of like your everyday life and your own area and your neighborhood and places where you would normally go throughout your day. It means that maybe you are meeting with friends or someone in particular in a social setting. It could be just, just for friendliness, or, just to meet up with this person, but it could be for business. Maybe you're business minded and you are making connections right now. So it could be something like that. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 3rd house squares Jupiter, transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 3rd house squares Neptune, also in Pisces in your 12th house. So maybe you are having discussions with someone. It could be friends, but it could be somebody that you're really trying to impress or get to know or get on their good side or something like that. And you're kind of doing this behind the scenes. Your 3rd house, where you have all these planets in Gemini right now, means that you're very active within your own community. You're in touch more with your neighbors or businesses even in your neighborhood. It's third house is a big communication and travel house, so maybe you're moving around a little bit more than you normally would. You're in contact with people. It looks like you are the one initiating most of the conversations or contacts, whether it's email, regular postal mail, but any kind of discussion. But in a way, you're kind of doing it behind the scenes, just due to these squares. You know, square's not a very big deal to these very nice planets in your 12th house of confidences and secrets and actions by you or someone else behind the scenes. But it's things that occur in solitude or, like I said, secrets. So maybe you're trying to get on someone's good side or trying to get their cooperation in some way or other. And having Jupiter here right now really, really helps do just that. Because Neptune and Jupiter are transiting here together, and this is the house of charity, maybe you are involved in some kind of charitable organization right now, and you're trying to get other people on board. You are helping someone that you're helping them in secret, but also you could be on the receiving end of something like this. Maybe you yourself need help in some way or other, and this is you're asking someone for that very thing. It could be for any reason, you know, it could be professional or personal, but you're kind of asking them to keep it to themselves. Okay, for Taurus, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in your first house in Taurus trines Pluto transiting in Capricorn in your 9th house. So the Sun is about ready to leave your first house and move into your second house of Gemini, and is creating this one last aspect to Pluto in your 9th house of like your philosophy on life, your outlook, your beliefs, your opinions even, big travel and communication house, media house, publishing, legal matters. But what I would have to think right now it's doing is it's confirming your outlook, your beliefs in some way or other. You have the planet Uranus still in your sun, and it brings about a lot of uncertainty and surprising facets of yourself even. But other people, their behavior towards you or yours towards them. And maybe you're like self-analyzing yourself in a way and wondering what the hell's the matter with you. And there's really nothing wrong with you. And this is one of those days where you take comfort even in your stability, you know, your beliefs, your philosophy on life. Okay, on Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your second house trines Saturn, transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius. Very nice placement here, very nice aspect. Your 10th house where you have Saturn is your house of your career, your livelihood, your professional and social reputation, and how you're seen in the public eye. Venus in your second house, your ruling planet even, is attracting things to you, Venus-related things, but one of them is money. The second house is how you earn your income. You are the natural ruler of the second house. Possessions that are Venus-ruled even, like luxury items. But to me it looks like you're getting a very nice perk of some kind in your career, even if it's someone just putting in a good word for you. They're helping to stabilize your position. When Jupiter's here, it's usually it denotes some kind of promotion of some kind within your current career or in a completely new one. Even if you do not work at all, there's still some kind of up the level of success ladder, you know, for your reputation in some way. But Venus is really helping to do that. But it's also helping to bring in more money, more clients, more whatever. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your second house squares Jupiter transiting in Pisces in your 11th house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your second house squares Neptune transiting in Pisces in your 11th house. So you have Neptune and Jupiter in your 11th house of your friends, your acquaintances, where you would normally go to hang out. It's socializing online if you're not able to do this in person. You might actually, though, be doing something in person. You could be asked to join this is the house of organizations, any kind of group or organization that you belong to, or you may be being asked to join some kind of organization. And it looks like they want you to pitch in some way or other, pay dues or donate or something or other to some kind of cause, possibly. It could be something worthy even, but it's something that I think that you should probably look into a lot more before you part with your money. Okay, for Gemini, on, let's see here. Oh, hang on. For Gemini, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 12th house trines Pluto transiting in your 8th house of Capricorn. So you still have just that one planet there, the Sun in Taurus. It's about ready to move into your first house. Still have it in your 12th house of behind-the-scenes occurrences, actions by you or someone else. The house of secrets. And a very nice trine to your 8th house of other people's resources and money. With Pluto here, means that there's been lots of changes in this area, especially if you jointly hold bank accounts or property or whatever with someone else. So that's been like a kind of like an issue maybe over the past so many years. Seems to be going away a little bit, that this could be one of these last final tweaks that you make to some kind of arrangement that you have with someone. Could be legal papers, something like that. Who gets what? You know, some kind of something or other, but you are possibly doing a lot of things behind the scenes to protect your own interest in some way or other. Not a bad thing. Okay, on Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your first house trines Saturn in your 9th house of Aquarius. And this is kind of like what I was, meant about, like possibly something legal or papers or something like that. Venus in your first house brings about a lot of things coming to you. Venus attracts things that you need wherever it's transiting. And in your first house, it's usually people or cooperation from someone or other. Very nice trine to Saturn in your 9th house kind of means stability in some way. That's what Saturn brings, is possibly, the 9th house is the house of legal matters. It's the house of education, higher education, publishing, media, travel and communication. So you could be in touch with someone long distance even, for whatever reason. But to me it looks like good news on this day, good news of some kind. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your first house squares Jupiter transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your first house squares Neptune transiting in Pisces in your 10th house. Not a bad thing at all, actually. Looks like your 10th house, is your house of your livelihood, your career, how you're known by reputation professionally and personally. It's how your outer persona, it's how you're viewed by the public and how they speak about you or know you by. So, Jupiter just moved here very briefly, and it could put you in a really nice position. Usually when Jupiter's in your 10th house, that's exactly what it does, is you get a promotion of some kind, even if it's a completely new job or a new position within your current company, or if you don't work at all, you're still in the public eye in some way or other. But having Neptune here at the same time kind of brings a little bit of cloudiness over, everything. I have mentioned that a lot of times, though, these two planets combined together bring about a bit of movie star quality to your reputation in some way or other. Or maybe that's what people think about you, kind of like dreamy, your outer appearance possibly. The squares, though, from your first house, that's really not that bad. But if you were trying to get a promotion of some kind, or present yourself in some way for a better position in anything, even if it is in like the public eye, you could have a little bit of problems there, maybe a little bit too eager in some area or other. So you might not do or say something the way you would want it to work. Okay, whatever you do or say may not be taken the way that you want it to. Okay, it's not like it's going to backfire. It's just that you didn't get out of it what you thought you would. Okay, for Cancer, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 11th house trines Pluto transiting in your 7th house of Capricorn. Very nice trine to your 7th house of close relationships. Okay, your partner, your business partner, your romantic partner, or just close friends. And having the Sun in your 11th house of Taurus, where it's your house of friends, your close friends, but it's also acquaintances. So you could actually be meeting someone new right now. The Sun is about ready to leave here. Venus and Mercury have been here. You know, the planet Uranus is also transiting here for quite some time yet. So your encounters with new people, as far as friends goes, is always going to be exciting, even in a way. And maybe this is like one of those times where you are starting to form a really nice, closer relationship, possibly with someone that you've only just met, or someone that you've always only known as just an acquaintance. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 12th house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 8th house. So you still have, you know, the Sun's about ready to move into Gemini, so you're going to have all these planets in your 12th house of secrets and confidences and things that you do behind the scenes without anyone else's knowledge, or you do in solitude. Usually what it is this is everyone's downtime before planets move into their first house and they burst on the scene. You know, when you have planets in your 11th house of friends and sociability, you spend a lot of time doing just that. So then you need a break from everybody. So when planets move into your 12th house, that's kind of like what you're doing. And then when they move into your first house again, you just like burst on the scene again. Because it's like your birthday and stuff. You have the Sun in your first house and you're like all shiny and whatever. So people can't help but notice you. And this is like kind of one of those times. But I would have to say, because your 8th house is involved here. 8th house is other people's resources and money. It's the house of transformation, legacies. It's a money house, but it's money coming to you through means other than earning it. And this could be one of those times that maybe you are either learning about or investigating, checking into something that more than likely is yours or is going to be yours. This, like I said, this is the house of legacies and inheritances, and Jupiter is usually here. It just moved briefly into Pisces, but it will be back in this area. And it looks like you're on somebody's list. You are a beneficiary in some way or other, and maybe that's what you're actually just finding out right now. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 12th house. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 12th house squares Jupiter, transiting in Pisces in your 9th house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 12th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. So still have stuff going on behind the scenes here in your house, 12th house of Gemini. And they're just squares from Mercury and Venus to these two really nice planets in your 9th house of spiritual awareness and religious beliefs and your philosophy on life, your background. The ninth house is many, many things, but having these two planets here together does bring about a whole new kind of outlook on life. This is the house of foreign anything, foreign people, foreign countries, foreign languages, travel, foreign travel. You could even, though, actually just adopt someone's culture right now, another culture that brings some kind of, it's a add-on to your current philosophy. It's not like you're doing away with whatever you've always believed. You're kind of like adding to it, and it looks like you're adopting someone else's culture. If that's not the thing that in store for you right now, you could just possibly be in touch with someone who lives at a distance or in another country, and they affect you in some way or other. They really even help you to make decisions on something. You know, they help to ease your mind in some way or other. So for Leo, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 10th house trines Pluto, transiting in your 6th house of Capricorn. So very nice having the Sun in your 10th house of your career, your outer persona. This is your most public house in your chart. It's how you're viewed by the public and spoken about professionally or personally. The 6th house, where you have Pluto transiting, is your house of the workplace, your co-workers, the kind of work that you do. Looks like you're just getting a very nice okay from the company you work for. If you're self-employed, you're actually gaining maybe more clients right now. But you're getting a really nice benefit from possibly a higher up or a colleague or someone who's in a position to up your status in some way or other, professionally or even personally. But it really helps you in whatever kind of job that you do. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 11th house trines Saturn in Aquarius in your 7th house. I'm sorry. Venus in Gemini in your 11th. Okay, yeah, trine Saturn in your 7th. Sorry about that. Anyway, having these planets in your 11th house of friends, where you would normally go to hang out. It's your most sociable house. It's socializing online if you're unable to actually go out. But you're having a lot more contact with friends right now when the Sun will be moving here too, so it just like continues. But having Venus and Mercury here right now, it just means that you're having a lot more contact with your friends or meeting new people in some way or other. The very nice trine to your 7th house of close relationships, partnerships, business, romantic, or just a close friend means that if you are involved with someone right now, they're either impressed by whomever it is that you've recently met or that you know, or they agree with your circle of friends. They like, you know, your the people that you hang out with. You know, it looks like sometimes partners don't always agree, especially if it's like romantic. They don't always care for your friends, but right now it looks like they do. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 11th house squares Jupiter, transiting in Pisces in your 8th house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 11th house squares Neptune, transiting in Pisces in your 8th house. So it's just a square, but it's a square to a money house where you have Neptune and Jupiter. Right now, the 11th house is also any kind of organization that you belong to. You may be prompted to donate to, let's say, some even charitable or worthy cause or something like that, some kind of organization like that. Having Neptune and Jupiter in your 8th house could cause money to go out of your bank account in some way or other, or credit cards, or lot faster than it's coming in. Okay, so you could be taken a little bit in a way. not really swindled, but taken in by someone's persuasiveness, especially someone new that you meet that could be very charming in some way or other. But if it's not someone new, it could actually be one of your friends trying to talk you into doing something that requires money, but it's really not a good idea. Even if it's like to do something fun, it could be just a little bit too expensive for you right now. Okay, for Virgo, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 9th house trines Pluto transiting in your 5th house of Capricorn. So Capricorn on the 5th house of romance and speculation and fun. This is the house of fun. And having planets in your 9th house of travel and the long distance communication, long distance travel though too, foreign anything, foreign travel, contact with foreigners, just many things here, but it's the house of adventure in a way. And I'd have to say that that's kind of what could be going on here right now, that if you are doing something, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be just for fun, that you are doing something that's at least different than what you would normally be doing. You know, you're trying to get out of some boredom or something like that, but you want to do something a little different. In fact, having Pluto in your 5th house has changed the way that you have fun. It's you have new and different interests than possibly you did before. So maybe that's something like that, but you could be traveling to do something fun. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 10th house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 6th house, which is very nice. Your 10th house is your most public house in your chart. It's how you're viewed and spoken about publicly regarding your professional or even your personal life. But it's your livelihood, how you're known, your career. And having Venus here is almost in a way like having Venus in your 1st house, where people are saying very nice things about you, very complimentary, but it's usually about your appearance. People are noticing you, your physical traits, but even your style, anything about you. But very nice things going on here. And it could actually bring in this trine to your 6th house, where you have Saturn transiting right now. Your 6th house is the workplace, the kind of work that you do. It could actually bring in more business for you in some way or other, your appearance or your reputation even. But it brings in even your co-workers may, let's say, respect you a little more or appreciate you a little bit more at this time. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 10th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 7th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 10th house squares Neptune transiting in Pisces in your 7th house. Not a very bad thing, really. Having Sun and Mercury in your 10th house is really very active in your career, okay? Or more contact with people in your line of work, or a higher up, or colleagues or something like that. But it's in regards to whatever it is that you do for a living. Even if you don't work at all, it's still in regards to your reputation or how you're known. You're like in the public eye right now. Square to your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships doesn't really, it's really not all that bad. You may be involved with someone romantically or professionally as a business partner or a close friend that may in some way, I don't know, want to put their 2 cents in regards to your career. They could possibly be feel like they're helping you. I'm sure that they are, or they mean well, but they probably don't have the advice that you need, even though they mean well. Okay, let's just put it that way. Having Jupiter in your 7th house, though, even briefly, is opening up more opportunities for more partnerships, to make partnerships with new people even. So maybe something like that is happening, where there are new people coming into your realm, you know, even if it is through work. And maybe your current partner is like kind of wondering about that. Maybe they feel a little bit insecure. For Libra, on Monday, May 17th, the sun in Taurus in your, let's see here, 8th house. Okay, trines Pluto transiting in Capricorn in your 4th house. So you could suddenly be on the receiving end of something very nice for your home. I'm sure I've mentioned this many times. The sun is leaving here, but you just had Venus and Mercury here, so having the planet Uranus here always brings very unexpected occurrences happening within, let's say, like your finances or any kind of property, possibly that you share with someone else, even if it is bank accounts or credit cards or something like that. But you could be pleasantly surprised on this day by something that you receive, even if it's not something physical. It could be someone's agreement to give you something or let go of something that maybe you both owned, and you would end up like with sole ownership or not having to worry about it anymore. In fact, someone may even offer to pay like one of your bills, or whatever, do something nice for you in that way, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 9th house, trine Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 5th house. Having Saturn in your 5th house, Jupiter was just here. It will be moving back here like at the end of July, but briefly it moved into your 6th house. So right now all you have is Saturn here, and it kind of makes you have a little bit more serious look at your love life, or whatever it is that you do for fun. You're probably kind of bored or doing the same thing, or feeling like you're doing the same thing all the time. Having planets in your 9th house of adventure and travel and communications, publishing, all kinds of stuff. But I'd have to say it's the adventure part of you trying to get you psyched up about something or other. Maybe you even have a party or something you have to attend, or some kind of event or whatever, and you're not really looking forward to it, but it looks like you'll make your way through in some way or other. You'll get through it. On Friday, May 21st, the sun in Gemini in your 9th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in your 9th house in Gemini squares Neptune transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. So your 6th house is the workplace, the kind of work that you do, your co-workers. It's also your house of health, and your service to others. But I would have to say right now here, it's more than likely work related, just because you have Mars in your 10th house right now in Cancer, your 10th house of career and everything. So you're very energetic as far as your career goes right now. So it looks like you may possibly be looking into, let's say, like the legal end of the kind of work that you do, or even the company you work for, or possibly something that may be going on at work. I've mentioned before, you know, having Neptune here in the 6th house kind of means that you could possibly be working with someone who is very deceptive. Your company could even be, let's say, maybe a front for some other kind of business. Whatever, you know, having Jupiter here, though, kind of brings somebody new into the picture, and they're very beneficial to you. Not just you, but also your co-workers, or they're very beneficial to even the kind of work that you do. So it just looks like somebody possibly new coming in to the workplace is helping you in some way, but it's kind of like opening your eyes to something that's actually going on there. So it is a little bit uncomfortable, okay, whatever it is that you're finding out. For Scorpio, on Monday, May 17th, the sun in Taurus in your, let's see here, oh, 7th house, sorry. Trines Pluto transiting in Capricorn in your 3rd house. So having planets, and the sun is about ready to leave here. The planet Uranus will still remain here though, but you just went through like all these planets in your opposite sign of Taurus, okay, in your 7th house. Kind of brought your close relationships into focus, you know, whether you wanted them to or not. They were like right there where you kind of had to deal with them. Very nice trying to your 3rd house of like your everyday life and your the area that you live in, but people that you're in touch with kind of like on a daily basis. And this could just be one of those times where you could possibly hear from someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're close with as far as relationships go, a business partner, a romantic partner, or even just a close friend, but you could hear something. The 7th house is also the house of contracts, along with the 3rd house. Okay, so you could hear good news in regards to some kind of contract or arrangement that you've made with someone that seems to be working out in your favor, where at first it wasn't. You know, you weren't, it was a lot of, I don't know, back and forth, or maybe even a little bit stressful, but it looks like things are finally working out in your favor, and this could be a day where you actually hear good news on something like that. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 8th house, trine Saturn, transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius. So all these planets now are into your 8th house where you have Gemini. Okay, this is other people's resources and money. It is jointly held property. In your 4th house where you have Aquarius is your home. Okay, your home and the property surrounding it. It's also your family, the people you live with, and your personal life, your childhood, everything. Okay, so there's more than likely something going on here right now where you could be, I don't know, I don't want to say moving, but you may be doing something with your home, or you are possibly trying to get a loan to upgrade your home in some way or other. Or if you do own property with someone else, it doesn't even have to be physical property. This could be anything from bank accounts to credit cards and things like that. It's also shared debt, okay? So maybe you are trying to figure out who owes what, or what you are going to do if you do jointly own something with someone else. Is this the time to buy one another out, or give it up? It could possibly even be given to you at this time, or just out of the blue, somebody could gift you with something very nice for your home. But it's something that you need, that you needed, okay? Something that betters your home in some way or other. On Friday, May 21st, the sun in Gemini in your 8th house squares Jupiter transiting in Pisces in your 5th house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 8th house squares Neptune in Pisces in your 5th house. So your 5th house is your house of fun, creativity, romance, all kinds of stuff, speculation, and that's something that you might be like really up on right now. You may really feel like, just because your 8th house is money, it's a money house. You may, where you have Gemini, and there's like all these planets in Gemini in your 8th house right now, but this is money coming to you, your 8th house, okay? Money coming to you through means other than earning it, okay? And this is like a legacy, inheritance, settlement of some kind, an insurance settlement or legal settlement or refund or whatever. But you may actually speculate, okay, around this time. Possibly a little bit too much just because these are squares. But if you actually, if it's well thought out speculation, you could actually win something at this time. Okay, you would just have to be careful not to go overboard. Having Jupiter and Neptune in your 5th house kind of brings about a dreamy quality to like everything there, especially romance. But as far as speculation goes, that's what I'd have to say is where your mind might be at this time. Just don't go overboard. Okay, for Sagittarius, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 6th house trines Pluto transiting in your 2nd house of Capricorn. So planets are leaving your 6th house of Taurus. They're moving into Gemini. But the Sun just makes that one last aspect. Your 6th house is the kind of work that you do, the workplace, your schedule even, your co-workers, and a very nice trine of Pluto in your 2nd house of how you earn your money and income. Just means that you have either finished a project or getting paid for some kind of work that you did. It could be an increase in income, but I don't really see that right now. But it could even be like a new client or something or other. But a lot of times it's just more or less an increase in income in some way, but usually because you're bringing in more work. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 7th house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 3rd house. Your 3rd house is your everyday life, the places where you would normally go throughout the day and the people that you would like encounter. It's also a house of contracts. Let's say communication and travel, short distance travel actually. Your 7th house is your house of close relationships and arrangements and agreements. Okay, it is a house of contracts. Okay, so you could actually be forming some kind of either business relationship with someone, a romantic relationship, or just a close friend, some kind of an arrangement that you make. But if it is business, it could be really put down on paper at this time. Somebody could be drawing up some kind of contract for you to sign. Looks like under this aspect that it's fair. Okay, on Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 7th house squares Jupiter transiting in Pisces in your 4th house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 7th house squares Neptune transiting in your 4th house of Pisces. So having these nice planets, just briefly, Jupiter moved here into your 4th house of Pisces. So it's bringing new whatever to your home. Maybe you wanted to expand in this area anyways. There's probably lots of things that you wanted to do to your home, and maybe you either didn't have the money or you didn't have the time or whatever. Now you do, but however, just these squares from your 7th house just means that if you are involved in any kind of close relationship with anyone, that they might have some kind of say in whatever it is that you do to your home. This is also, the 7th house is also the house of, again, close relationships. So maybe if you are involved, let's say, like in anything romantic, that this person doesn't really go along with whatever kind of changes you're making to your home. In fact, they may try to talk you into moving in with them, or they want to move in with you, or you know, something like that. Something, someone trying to get you to commit to some kind of new living arrangement. Okay. For Capricorn, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 5th house trines Pluto transiting in your 1st house of Capricorn. So this is very nice. 5th house is the house of creativity and romance and fun, speculation, children, all kinds of things. But a very nice trine from your 5th house just kind of means that whatever it is that you are doing in this area for fun, let's say, or even romance or creativity, is bringing out the best of your personality. You're able to kind of like freely express yourself at this time in one of these areas. And you feel like very comfortable in doing that. At other times maybe you don't, but on this day you more than likely will. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 6th house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 2nd house. So your 6th house is the kind of work that you do, your schedule at work, your co-workers, and your 2nd house is how you earn your money. So it looks like you are doing something, I want to say creative, or something beautiful, or you're beautifying even the kind of work that you do, or even if you are putting some kind of finishing touches on it, you know, but it is to bring in more money. You're possibly even courting, let's say, like a new client, or something or other, but it's having to deal with, let's say, Venus-related things that are beautiful art or something like that, or whatever kind of work that you do, even if it isn't something very artistic, you have still put some kind of finishing touch on it that you made it that way, and it helped to increase either more work, it's bringing in more work for you, or it just actually brought in more money. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 6th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 3rd house of Pisces. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 6th house squares Neptune, also transiting in Pisces in your 3rd house. Just kind of looks like maybe you are very busy at work, okay, with these planets in your 6th house. Your 3rd house is your everyday life, where you would normally go throughout the course of a day, and the people or places that you would encounter. It's also travel house. You know, maybe you are even traveling a little bit for work, or being given the opportunity to, let's say, take an overnighter or a weekend trip, but it's in regards to work. It's maybe something that maybe you really didn't feel like doing or hadn't expected it to do, but it kind of would be because you're having to maybe travel with someone else, maybe a co-worker, somebody that you wouldn't really take up with, but it kind of looks like it's in regards to work. For Aquarius, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 4th house trines Pluto transiting in your 12th house of Capricorn. It could be that you are doing something behind the scenes. Remember, where you have your 12th house of Capricorn and Pluto is transiting there, means that you've been doing actually quite a lot of things behind the scenes, but it's to secure your position in some way or other. Your 4th house is your personal life, your family, where you physically live and the property surrounding it. It's your childhood, but it's also the people you live with. You know, if you have a roommate, not necessarily family life, but even if you live by yourself. So there's something going on here that if you do live with someone, you're not sure what they're up to, so maybe you are taking steps to reinforce your position in some way or other, or protect yourself, whatever. And all of those things have worked out, or they were a good idea. That could be something that you're finding out right now. Someone you live with could be planning on leaving, or there's some kind of changes or other going on wherever it is that you live, and whatever you've done all along seems to have been the best thing that you could have done. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 5th house trines Saturn transiting in Aquarius in your 1st house. So your 5th house, where you have planets right now in Gemini, is your house of fun, creativity, romance, speculation and gambling, any form of entertainment. And it looks like it's actually doing you some good. Maybe you need to get out and have some fun. Maybe you've been a little bit too serious lately. You could actually be attending a party right now. Maybe you're even throwing one yourself. whatever. It's just that you need to let your hair down, or in one way or other. And this seems to be one of those days where you'll actually be able to do that. Whatever you do helps to bring out your personality in such a way that you're seen as a fun person. Okay, maybe not any other time, but on this day, more than likely. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 5th house squares Jupiter, transiting in Pisces in your 2nd house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 5th house squares Neptune, transiting in Pisces in your 2nd house. So back to speculation here in your 5th house, having these planets in Gemini and a square to your 2nd house of income and how you earn your money, whatever way you bring money in. You have Mars in Cancer right now in your 6th house of the kind of work that you do. So it's making you very energetic and enthusiastic about whatever you do, what kind of work that you do, or whatever way it is that you bring in money. Okay, now your 5th house of speculation means that you may be willing to take some kind of chance, maybe possibly do an investment of some kind that could be a little risky. However, the investment itself may be like in yourself. You may have created something or have done something in the past that you would like to do again. In the past you did it for fun. Right now you would like to do it for money. You know, if you had some kind of interest or some flair for whatever. Let's say even when you were much younger, you know, this is starting to come to the surface again, and you're thinking, wow, you know what, I'd really like to do that instead of what I do now, or try to make it like your main source of income. Okay. Oops. Let's see here. Sorry. See that hello there? I always drop the wrong paper. That hello is how I focus, which doesn't always happen correctly either, as you've noticed, I'm sure. Anyways, for Pisces, on Monday, May 17th, the Sun in Taurus in your 3rd house trines Pluto, transiting in your 11th house of Capricorn, your 11th house of friends, and any place you would normally go to hang out. It's any kind of organization that you belong to, and it's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So there was lots of planets here before. Right now all there is Pluto, but it does mean that your group of friends have changed in some way or other. They could be a hell of a lot more intense than they used to be in the past. They have to mean something in a way, especially if you actually do belong to an organization of some kind. They have to be pretty important organization for you to belong to. It's not like some fluff thing, you know. Whatever, but that you're having a very nice trine from your 3rd house of like your everyday life, where you would normally go throughout the course of a day and the places or people that you would encounter. And that this is kind of like one of these times where maybe you are even out just like in your own neighborhood or whatever, and you run into someone that you know socially. Maybe you just know them socially online, through social media. Maybe you actually meet them in person for the first time, which is like kind of different, you know, for you. It's an encounter that you may have on social media though too. You don't have to physically be there to like run into somebody. On Thursday, May 20th, Venus in Gemini in your 4th house trine Saturn, transiting in your 12th house of Aquarius. Having planets in your 4th house of your home, especially Venus, brings about really nice good times within your home. If you were to have some kind of party or something like that, it would go pretty well right now. Anything romantic though, as far as Venus goes, would take place in like a home setting, like dinner or something like that, or just hanging out at someone's home. Trying to Saturn in your 12th house, which is like behind the scenes, just kind of means that, you know, you are possibly getting to feel maybe a little bit more secure in any kind of relationship that you have. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. You could feel a lot closer with a family member. You could actually find out things right now about your childhood or your past in some way that helps you feel better about yourself. Where at times, maybe sometimes having Saturn in your 12th house does bring about like depression or negative thoughts, usually negative. Okay, so something may occur within your life at this time that makes you feel a little bit better, or maybe even a lot better, about your childhood, your past, or your security in some way. On Friday, May 21st, the Sun in Gemini in your 4th house squares Jupiter, transiting in Pisces in your 1st house. And on Sunday, May 23rd, Mercury in Gemini in your 4th house squares Neptune, also transiting in Pisces in your 1st house. So, you know, you have these planets in your 1st house right now. Jupiter's briefly in your sign and bringing about a little bit of well, maybe a lot of levity. You know, maybe you are just wake up one day and you just feel like you're raring to go. You know, you're very optimistic, want to try everything and anything. You know, let's go do stuff. This is one of those times, okay? I would have to say could have a lot to do with family, because all of these planets where you have Gemini is in your home, house of family and your home. So there could actually just be something that you've been wanting to do at your home or with your family that, you know, because these are squares, so it's not like a very big deal. You may want to do something, and like I said, Jupiter is a very expansive planet, and it makes you just feel like there's no tomorrow. You know, you can just keep on going and keep on doing whatever. And this could be one of those times, though. Somebody could be pulling you back a little bit, saying, you know what, we can't do this right now, or maybe you shouldn't do something that drastic, or whatever. But you just probably feel like you want to change an awful lot of things in your life, especially your personal life, and you're just going at it in such a way that you might have to slow down a little bit, that's all. So I hope everyone enjoyed their astrological forecast for this week. Be sure to check out my monthly forecast. Check out my Ask Me a Question and my website. There's a link there below in the description if you would like to have your chart done. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye.